Well, hello everyone. Don Garman here from Mirador Capital Partners. Here we are, September 29th, 2020. And in 5 Tuesdays, we will have the next presidential election, which makes the next uh, 4 weeks starting tonight with the first presidential debate somewhat of a tense and let's just call it a time filled with a lot of consternation and uncertainty, which you may not know by looking at the markets on any given day, today particularly. And I would say since tomorrow is the end of September and the end of Q3, I think we can say that this year has certainly been characterized by the disconnect between the capital markets and the real economy. And so we are very much still in the middle of what I think is a lot of uncertainty around the pandemic. And I would say for our part, we continue to be nervous about how the election could end. I think I don't need to go into that. I think we've all heard and read all about it. And if there's going to be a peaceful transition of power, which is, of course, what separates the greatness of America from the other countries that seem to struggle mightily with these transitions. Hopefully, all of the predictions and the most dire ones will not be fulfilled, and that things will, go relatively smoothly, whatever that means. Um, Obviously, this has been a down month in the markets, less so for us by a long shot, and I continue to be pretty proud overall with how things are performing throughout our strategies. I think it's safe to say if we rolled the clock back a year and said at the end of Q3 2019, well, there's going to be a global pandemic, and we will be in the midst of a lot of swirling winds around the election. And I gave you certain portfolio values to circle for where your portfolio might be. I think many of us might agree that we might have chosen a number below the number that we get to see when we look at our account. So we're grateful for that. We're always, I would say, suspicious about what's next and preparing for what's next. I said this as we got out of our investment committee a short time ago. The portfolio, the Longview portfolio, has changed a lot in the last 6 months, and I think it does better reflect what the world is likely to look like in the coming months and years. I'm not we're not playing the game of trying to do something draconian in anticipation of what might come in the next 4 weeks or 5 weeks through election day, or even in the aftermath of that. I mean, I think what we learned in 2016 is, predictions are they're hard to be held accountable to what any particular person thinks might happen. What I know for 100% certainty is we will need to be here a year from now, and 2 years from now, and 5 years from now, confronting different uncertainty, but have the same core beliefs and core values, which is that we need to be able to hold our own and do well in decent markets, if they're valid decent markets or not valid decent markets, and then avoid, very painful drawdowns when things viciously turn, as they did earlier this year in March, when people were expecting us to do something a lot more draconian than ended up happening. And now I think we look back and we're glad that we take a little bit more of a measured approach. So I don't want to beat this horse any further. We will leave it there for this week. As always, we appreciate your feedback. And we are here we are at the end of another quarter, and we march um, full steam ahead into Q4 and whatever confronts us. So talk to you soon. Thank you very much. Bye.